Hi guys, Revive here, I hope you're all having a good day. So, last week we got a bit of leaked news that Quarantine, a map from Call of Duty 2, was making its way into Call of Duty World War 2 in the form of pre-order bonus. This isn't the first time that Quarantine has been brought back, though the gameplay on your screen is from a map you'll all know as Chinatown from COD 4, which was a remake of Quarantine. Obviously map remakes are commonplace now, especially in the later DLC. Both Black Ops 3 and Infinite Warfare have had at least one remade map in every DLC, so it'd be a good guess to say that World War 2 is probably going to have the same sort of thing. It's kind of the theme for each developer to remake a map that their own studio had worked on. Treyarch remaking maps like Hijacked and Nuketown, Infinity Ward doing Warhawk and Rust, for example. Obviously, Advanced Warfare was Sledgehammer's first full COD game, but having worked on Modern Warfare 3 as well, there might be a slight chance that we'll see a Modern Warfare 3 map in there too. What I've done is I've gone through the maps from Advanced Warfare, picked out the 4 maps that I think are most likely to be brought back and put into a DLC. These 4 seemed like the most popular. They were all played competitively, with the exception of Comeback, if I remember correctly. So anyway, here we go. The first one's Comeback, which is a medium sort of size map. Has a sort of ring around the outside with a small room in the middle. A theme that you'll find with pretty much all of these maps, but with Comeback in particular, is that because of Advanced Warfare's boost jumps, not a huge amount of the gameplay took place on the ground. You spent a hell of a lot of time on the rooftops of Comeback, shooting people on the other rooftops. And obviously with World War 2, you don't have super jumpy jetpacks. The gameplay of the map would be changed massively. Everybody would be on the ground. I can imagine this map would work best sort of re-themed into some sort of city, these huge buildings towering above you. The gameplay would be totally moved to the lanes on the ground. Obviously the places where the gunfights would happen would change massively, as nobody would be on the roofs of the buildings anymore. It'd probably be one of the more drastic changes for a map we've seen if it does make a return. Up next is Riot, one of the more memorable maps from Advanced Warfare, and actually I think probably one of the best when converted over to boots on the ground. There are some high points on the buildings close to each spawn, but honestly a lot of this map can be played on the ground level. It's a pretty typical COD map with the 2 lanes down either side and a large building in the middle that acts like a central focus point. Going back and playing Advanced Warfare, it really is a hell of a lot faster paced than Black Ops 3 or Infinite Warfare, definitely a lot faster than World War 2. The boost jumps in Advanced Warfare put people all over your screen. People could jump from the top of a doorway, from above you on the top of a building. If World War 2 were played on this map, it would change it so much. It would feel like a completely different map. I feel like maps like this might feel quite big in World War 2. As well as the obvious different levels, I feel like these maps are just like a lot more open and just larger in size to accommodate for all the boost jumps. It's interesting. The way that players move around is so different in both games. It'd really be cool to see how it like converts over. Then there's Detroit. I honestly think you could copy and paste Detroit over to World War 2, change its theming, and the actual layout of it would translate really well to boots on the ground. It's one of those maps in Advanced Warfare that is sort of on one level. The layout of it is fairly similar to maps like Havana in Black Ops 1, Warhawk from Ghosts. It's kind of an S sort of shape, long street down the middle, spawns at either end. It's a pretty standard layout that I think would translate to World War 2 really easily. I can really imagine Detroit being redesigned to look similar to a map like Aachen, or something like Revolution from World at War. You could retheme it to like a destroyed European town or city, which I don't think that would be too hard at all. I think Detroit is one of my personal favourite maps from Advanced Warfare. I think it's a very traditional style COD map that I think you can move over to any game, really, and it worked really well. It worked really well with competitive gameplay. When I think back to Advanced Warfare Esports, Detroit is definitely one of the maps that sticks out in my head. It has some really clear-cut areas, a lot of gameplay that takes place in those buildings open on the other side. That portable hut down the bottom of the street, it's a really fun, small to medium map, and I definitely expect to see this back in World War 2. And lastly, there's Solar. Solar is definitely the most futuristic looking of the 4 maps. It really does look very different to the theme of World War 2. The outer edges of the map aren't hugely reliant on the boost jumps. It's the sightlines in the middle of the map that would change how things are played in that central area. Other than that, I think honestly Solar would be a really good map for COD World War 2. It's quite a traditional, clean, 3-lane map. I think one of the most interesting changes would be that central area where in Advanced Warfare it was very open, with the rooftops above making it really easy for people to see the entire area and pick you off. But without the boost jumps, granting you access to those higher areas, the middle of the map plays entirely differently. There are still certain places people can scope you out from, but it definitely makes it a hell of a lot less of a death trap. But thinking about what sort of guns might work well on this map in World War 2, the side's definitely better suited to SMGs. stuff like the M1928 or the PPSH. The middle of the map might be more suited to guns like the STG or the Garand, but overall this is definitely an SMG kind of map. I think solo would work really well for World War II. There's not a huge amount of verticality with it. There are definite changes that have to be made, but overall I think this map would translate really well to boots on the ground. So those are my 4 picks for Advanced Warfare maps that I think Sledgehammer could redesign and bring into Call of Duty World War II. Let me know what your favourite maps from Advanced Warfare are, what sort of maps you think would work really well. I'd love to hear what you guys think. If you've enjoyed the video, drop a like, that'd be awesome. Maybe hit subscribe, that'd be nice as well. Until next time though, my name is Revive and I'll see you guys later. Peace.